Hey, Coach.
Hey, Coach.
Hit that shit. National fucking champions. Just like we thought. Just like we predicted. Here we go.
All right, turn it off. Oh my goodness.
What a hell of a weekend. What a game.
I got the chills right now.
What a game.
Right now.
What a game. I got
Point to it, Coach.
uh,
Where are we going to here? Point to it. I mean, come on.
right there. Give it to us.
My
Give us a
gosh.
national championship. Holy shit. We did it. We did it. And we look, I'm not going to say we predicted at the beginning of the year, but I mean, we are, biased, we do say, hey man, look, and we just talked about it at the beginning of the year. We said, this is a national championship team.
Yeah.
Decent. You want to cheer on the boys too? Good Lord, son.
We're still got the cat in here, though.
Well, it's fine. I don't know what his problem is.
Sorry, we're not going to let him kill the vibe, Coach.
We're not. And he comes back in. Anyway, let me take these off because I cannot see. And then let me put these on because I cannot see.
Yeah.
All right. So now that I can see clearly, we won. Yeah, dude, been drinking all day. We won. Oh my goodness, we won.
Oh.
Holy shit. Victoria, you got anything to say? Go Tigers. Got it.
Good enough.
Well, go grab the cat, baby.
You can grab her. Oh, that's all right.
Oh my goodness, that cat's so sweet.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, but look.
Dogs are gone.
We're
back.
We're fucking national champions, dude.
Buddy.
I say we, but I mean, like, we don't go there.
No, we don't. But here's the thing, and I just told you this. It's just like I told Victoria. We have watched every single pitch of every single game.
Besides one.
All 65. We watched 64 out of 65 start to finish, and the one that we missed was your wedding night.
And we saw it.
And we still saw the ending because that was Tennessee Friday.
I ended up going to a bar after the wedding, and they had the game on.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, shit, they're running a replay of the game. And they were like, it had a 3-hour rain delay.
Yeah.
So it's live right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
There's a game that started at 10:30.
Yeah.
Or 10:15. Jared Jones walks it off in the bottom of the ninth at 1:17.
That was the only game that we missed.
Yeah, that was the first
one.
But
we've been there from day in, day out.
We have analyzed every game, every weekend, every weekday. We have talked about we've talked about 64 out of 60. Well, no, we've talked about 63 out of 65 games because we just played 2 that we haven't talked about yet.
Yeah.
And we're about to talk about the 2. And here's the thing about it, dude. When you get so emotionally wrapped in something, right? It don't matter what it is. TV show, baseball, football, whatever you're like, horse race, whatever you're into, when you get so emotionally invested, and one, you have the celebration of national champion, World Series champion, Super Bowl champion, whatever, NBA champions, whatever it is that you're a champion of. And then as soon as you have the moment of realization that you're the champion is also when the moment of realization hits that it's over for 7 months.
Yeah. And now Jay gets to work on the portal and the incoming freshmen and the returning class, which there's a lot of controversy going on with the returning class as to who comes back, who leaves.
I don't think it's controversy.
I
There's
think
a lot of questions.
Well, yeah. I'll go with questions. There's a lot. Give me that koozie, actually. I don't think about it because you brought your own American flag koozie today. And I don't know. I think Victoria put mine back in the koozie basket.
The booty?
Yeah, because I don't take care of myself. You know, or I don't pick up after myself.
I mean, look, here's the thing about it. Coach, I don't know if you heard. There's something that was talked about leading up to this game with Coastal. And I just want you to know that after these 2 games, they're on a 2-game losing streak. I don't know if you heard about that yet.
Oh yeah. So they went on a 26 game heater where they won every game convincingly, and they went on a 2-game losing streak in the most important time in the season because guess what? They underestimated LSU because they said in a press conference when they were asked, "What do you think about your opponents, the Louisiana State University Tigers?" And they said, "Not too much." Well, buddy, you scored a total of 3 runs in 2 games. Now, we scored 6, but that's besides the point.
That is besides the point. Because at the end of the day, there's only one
At the end of the
thing
day,
that matters.
There's a dub and there's an L. And you got 2 of these, and we got 2 of these, and we win the national fucking championship, which is insane, by the way.
Dude, I tell you.
The only undefeated team in Omaha, actually.
Yeah.
We're the only undefeated team in Omaha. Both of us were undefeated in Omaha. They were undefeated in the entire playoffs.
Yeah.
And then they lost.
Yeah.
Cade Anderson.
My goodness. God. Yeah, let's start with game 1 and Cade Anderson.
Yeah. Good thing there wasn't only 3.
Because
you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. But buddy, I tell you, look, Cade was legacy cemented.
Phenomenal.
Call it
1-1.
He's not Paul Skeens.
1-1.
I'm not gonna go Paul Skeens, but
he goes 1-1.
He's gonna go 1-1. And if the Nationals don't take him 1-1, they're fucking up big time. Because
I just don't know who else.
This dude is, as Jay Johnson said, MLB ready. He is the most MLB ready player in all of college baseball right now. Cade Anderson is. And even Jay said after the game, he said his next pitch has to be in a Nationals organization somewhere.
Yeah.
Whether it's low A, high, which he should just surpass both of those and go straight to just A ball and then double A.
He's a sophomore.
He's a draftable sophomore, yeah.
So he wasn't there in 23.
No, he was not.
No, he was a freshman last year pitching midweek games with like a 6 ERA.
And barely.
Right.
He ended up getting pulled out of that deal.
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? So you look at it and you make that big of a jump, right, from freshman to sophomore year. Could you imagine? Just imagine if these guys were allowed to weren't allowed to get drafted as a sophomore. Like if he comes back, Milam's back. I'm trying to think who else is a sophomore, a draftable sophomore.
I think that's
it. Honestly,
ones. Yeah, I don't.
Everybody's either a freshman or junior.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: does Cohen come back? I mean, I know this is like not what we're really talking about.
Yeah, no, we're not talking about that one.
But does Cohen come back?
Yeah, there's a possibility. I don't think so. Just because he was so good out the bullpen, I think people are going to rely on that.
It's just who gets drafted.
Like Chase Shores is probably coming back.
I think if they get drafted, really,
I think Chase Shores will come back.
That's a bold statement, bud.
Yeah,
bold strategy, Cotton.
I think he does come back though. Somebody's going to love the top side of him, obviously.
Oh man. Oh, I'll talk to you after.
All right, you better write it down because we're going to forget by then.
Chris called me today. Remind me.
All right, let me write it down.
Yeah, Chris called.
Rob.
Called me this morning before the game. He had a proposition for us.
All right.
Now, but we need to do some work for him to do that.
We'll talk about that after.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry
LSU is what we're talking about. Game 1. Look, let's talk about it because an absolute pitcher's duel.
A
Cameron
gem.
Fluky.
I don't want to
not talk about Fluky though, because
that's fine.
You got same thing at the Arkansas series.
Was he in that press conference? The press conference?
I don't know.
There were 4.
3.
There were 3 or 4.
The only one that was highlighted was Jacob.
Morrison?
Yeah.
Last time we faced a guy named Morrison, we walked him off with Miami. Miami. Yeah. We beat that fucking ass today.
But dude,
Go
I
ahead,
mean,
Coach.
here's the thing about it though. Like, I don't want to not give flowers where flowers are due because Fluky absolutely deserved his flowers. Fluky pitched like an absolute number one.
You know what I
ace.
feel like? You know what I feel like right now? Like I will continue. I will let you continue to talk. But you know what I feel like right now?
No.
I feel like RC and Marcus Spears after we won the Natty in 2019, how they were all sitting on the balcony in New Orleans,
It's a good comparison.
just like this, and talking to Stephen A.
It's pretty dope the way that landed.
That is pretty good. But they were talking to Stephen A. They were like, "You said your ass was going to be here, and you're not." And
Yeah, dude, I'll tell you, look,
I love it. I love it.
Cade was Cade. I mean, these guys got on base a lot, put him in tough situations a lot, and he just bared down, dude.
He dealt, dude.
He just bared
He
down.
dealt. His mom is crying in the stands.
Dude, it was
We love
unbelievable. I mean, another 100.
Love it.
His second 130 pitch complete game shutty this year. I mean, just absolutely unbelievable the way that he pitched. And same thing with Fluky, dude. I mean, you're talking 7 big innings from Fluky, and the only reason he gave up a run is because shortstop made a bonehead play in the first inning. DC gets on base after going 0-2, draws the walk, which was a huge turning point in the game, I thought, because Fluky's nasty out there. And you get him 0-2, and he takes a couple tough breakers, heaters right on the corners that don't get called. And, Ethan Fry doesn't get the job done, and Monster steps up and hits a ball to the shortstop. No, Monster got the base hit. So Fry hits the ball to shortstop, and it's kind of a bouncer, but it was toward the second base bag where he could have just flipped it. They wouldn't have been able to turn double play, but he could have got the lead out. Well, he didn't, and he throws to first to get that out. And then Monster steps to the plate and goes line drive up the middle, base hit, scores DC, and it's 1-0 Tigers, and that's what the game ended on. But I mean, we talked about Arkansas and the mental mistakes they made with Bassinger at first base going to make the backhand play and then throwing it to first. Aloy fielding the ground ball and then throwing it to third instead of turning a double play on Monster. And then obviously the slip in the outfield. But dude, the mental mistakes is not Carolina baseball. Like, they're built to play fundamental baseball. That's what they do. They steal bags, they bunt, they hit and run, they do all the little things the right way. Luckily, LSU took advantage of it, and luckily, Cade Anderson was the absolute dude that he was. I mean, first and second with nobody out, and you go a perfect sack bunt. Well, LSU ran the little will play and had Bodon stuck at second, essentially. And Braswell did a great job of taking 2 steps in and then being like, oh, I can't field this.
Who the hell is that?
That's Jake Brown. He jumped into the stands. Yeah. And then Braswell did a great job of being like, I can't field this. And he hears Luis yelling to K, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Gets back to third. Easy little pitch and catch from pitcher to third baseman right there to Brazzy. And you get the lead out at third base with 1 out, and then you go KK. And you get out the inning. And he just did it too many times. Stop looking at me like that. I'm not going to do that.
I'm sorry.
If there's 3 in a row, I'm going to say strike out, strike out, strike out. I'm not going to do that. All right. There's a lot of lines we push on this. That's not one of them.
That's not one of them. I understand.
We're unfiltered, but we're not going over the top here.
Yeah, we're not. We don't
do that.
Yeah, we're unfiltered, but we're not, clogged up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. But
I don't know what that is.
I mean, I think there was a point where Coastal had 6 straight.
First team to be unbeaten at College World Series since UCLA in 2013.
Taking those to be a little parched there, Coach.
That's right.
Yeah, first team LSU 5-0 in Omaha, first team to be unbeaten since 2013.
Yeah,
UCLA did it.
It's incredible,
dude. I just want to give Cade the flowers because I mean, multiple times in that game we got leadoff guys on base for Coastal, and and some of them was leadoff. I think 2 or 3 were leadoff doubles.
And we there was a point where we were like, hey, Shores has got to be the first guy out the pen here, like in the 6th and 7th. And he comes out in the 8th.
Well, remember, Cade was at 42 pitches through the second or something like that. I mean, his pitch count was elevated.
He had a very bad first and second inning. Look, Cade Anderson. Hold on, I want to rewind that because they showed his ERA
Oh, I got that for you.
right here. 2-0, 16 innings pitch, a .56 ERA
Yeah,
in the College World Series.
to go along with 17 punchies, 1 complete game shutout, and a 2-0 record. This is a guy that cemented his legacy.
Incredible.
He's not Paul Skeens. I'm not going that far. But you look right under Paul Skeens, there's Cade.
You know what I loved in this game, in the second game? And I mean, we're not going to talk much about the second game right now. But in the second game, in about the sixth, you saw Ant in the tunnel with Cade with the book talking to him. William Schmidt was right there.
And William Schmidt was right there.
Schmidt was right there.
Eating it up.
And Curiel was right there as well.
The two freshmen sitting
sitting with the two experienced guys. Dude. Did you
see last night in like the seventh inning, they zoomed in on Cade and Schmitty was sitting right next to him in the dugout. And, you know, pitchers, when you're feeling it and you're not coming out, you don't have nobody near you. Like, you're by yourself doing your own thing, mental state, doing whatever you got to do. Dude, Schmitty was sitting right next to Cade, just eating up the information. Like, you know, and one can only assume today's role was, you know, he had given up a hit already. He had given up a run, right?
Right.
So Cade's back there like, hey, look, scouting report says this, this, and this. Just remember to do this, remember to do that. Schmitty's sitting back there seeing how Cade's talking to him and seeing how Ant's responding and seeing how Ant's getting through each inning and what his recovery is after each inning. Same thing with what Cade was doing the night before. Dude, I love that. In fact, we're on the way home. I had the Magic Box playing. And I looked at Victoria. I said, that's what's going to make William Schmidt great right there. Is he is sitting next to these two guys, taking in all the information he can take in. That's what's going to make him great next year.
It's what's crazy is we're losing half this team, I would say, next year. And they're probably going to be just as good, if not better.
Well, when you look at starters, okay, 100% out of your starting 8, we're not going to count pitchers. I mean, we can because we throw Case on Evans in there, but we're not going to count pitchers. When you look at your starting 8 in the field, who's coming back without a shadow of a doubt? I got 2. I got Jake Brown and I got DC. That's it. Stanny, kind of on the fence. He had a great year. Somebody might pick him up just because he got a speed.
He did have a great year.
Braz?
But I think Stanfield comes back.
But I'm talking about bona fide, surefire coming back.
Yeah.
Jake Brown, DC. That's it.
Who's not draft eligible? Those 2.
Correct.
That's Rizzy, Kaysen.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about field. I'm talking about in the field.
Like the starting 9 or starting 8.
Yeah, I'm talking about in the field. Not
starting 9.
Yeah, not the
Does
pitchers.
Ethan Fry come back?
I don't know. He had a breakout year this year.
He did.
There is a possibility he could.
100%.
But I'm talking about I'm talking bona fide coming back without a shadow of a doubt. Jake Brown, Derek Curiel. That's it. Stanny on the fence. Could go, could come back. Monster Milam could go, could come back. Danny gone. Jared Jones gone. Luis gone. Brazzy gone. Like,
there's been a lot
you're
of
talking about
changes.
2 people that are definitely 100% coming back.
Let's go to game 2, though. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm with you. I am with you. I'm following.
We'll talk about more people coming back in another episode.
Right.
All right, game 2.
Game 2.
Because game 1 was summed up like this: an absolute pitcher's duel between Cade and Fluky.
It was supposed to be.
Fluky was unbelievable. 7 innings of 1-run baseball just because of a bonehead mistake by the shortstop, and just painting 97, 98 all night long. I mean, he was disgusting.
Why don't we swing? Like,
yeah.
So game one, we didn't swing.
So I texted Blake. Here's the funny part.
Right.
I texted Blake after the first inning. I said, okay, fastball heavy, which was the scouting report. He throws his fastball like 68% of the time or something like that. He's fastball heavy. Let's get in the box. I get you want to run the pitch count up. I get you want to get to the bullpen. I get all that crap. But when you start talking about you're getting down 0-1, 0-2 every single time, the game plan got to change. And to me, it should have changed after the first inning whenever you saw that he was just pounding you fastball after fastball after fastball after fastball. And I texted Blake, I said, approach has to change right now in the second inning. This dude is going to lean on the fastball. He's going to throw it 65, 68, 70% of the time, just like the scouting report says he's going to do. And he's already done it in the first inning. Let's get in the box. Let's get ready to hit the first one at 98 and get ready to go. Well, we didn't. And we took a lot of pitches. And, we didn't get hits and we didn't get runs. But we had a guy on the mound who's going to go 1-1 overall. And Cade Anderson, who also didn't give up any runs.
There's some people out there that don't think that.
Coastal was like 0 for 9 or 0 for 10 or something like that.
It's crazy.
With guys on base in game one. That's not Coastal
baseball.
They
didn't score.
These fools have been averaging 11 runs a game. You scored 3 in 2 games.
Yeah.
Game 2.
Yeah. So game 2, you go Ianson. And we all knew, and we even said it, like, look, we need to win game 1 and game 2, because if we get to a game 3, like we're not fucked, but we're close. Right? So Ianson goes 6 1/3, 9 strikeouts. And his pitch count, he was at 99 pitches in the 7th.
Yep.
Gets pulled, and you go Chase Shores. We used 3 pitchers.
3 pitchers to win a College World Series, dude.
In 2 games.
I'll tell you.
This is incredible. This is probably the best, and I think Jay's even said it. This is probably the best team he's ever coached. And like I said, I want to say Jay has said it multiple times this year. This is the best team assembled that in LSU history, in my opinion. I mean, I wasn't there. I mean, I was alive for the first 6, but 7 and 8, I really resonated with, because I was there. And for 7, I was at Charles Schwab Stadium.
Yeah.
For 7, not for the last game, because I was on a plane, I had to get back to work or whatever. But I really, really remember the route to get to 7 and the route to get to 8.
Yeah.
And man, this game was insane.
And it started in the first inning.
And the beers taste like water.
If
you're at the house, if you're at the house watching,
like
just watching the game, like beers just taste like water. And if you're at the game, like my father was, you are, the beers probably tasted like glacier water, like the water boy, like water from a glacier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this game was just such an easy watch. And I was watching, and I really hope they're listening. I really hope they're listening to this episode. The people I was watching with was all of my in-laws' friends, okay, which are great people. I love them to death. They're a great group of friends. Been friends for 30 plus years. Went to college together, this and that. Like, it's awesome for them to all get together and be friends like this for this long. Every weekend they rotate. They didn't know last night whose house they were watching the national championship game at, because it had been so long.
Yeah.
Because they normally just get together for football season. But with baseball season coming around, because there's so many games, they every now and then will get together. So I got told that the game was going to be at one person's house. And then whenever we went to go leave, hey, my in-laws told me, hey, we're watching the game at our house tomorrow. And we're like, well, so-and-so said they're watching a game at his house tomorrow. And she was like, no. Like, we're watching a game at our house tomorrow. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm done. So, dude, we get there, and dude, they're some of them are like you. Hey, we got a bunt here, you know. And with me, like, I'm sitting there going, no. Like, dude, fucking Hernandez is up. And they're like, bunt.
Oh, I know exactly when you're talking about.
And I'm like, I'm like, dude, this is literally top 3 hottest hitters of all time.
Not to mention that the wind is gusting 45 miles per hour in the perfect Luis Hernandez path.
From right center.
Yeah.
It's coming from right center going across.
Luis Hernandez's swing. If he lifts one, it's gone.
He has T-Rex arms when he swings. And it's insane.
He gets very inside the baseball.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. But dude, like, so we're watching. And it's just I start to get a little irritated just because they're like, oh, we fucking suck. Like that home run. That home run where we went down 1-0.
They're
When we went down 1-0, they're like, oh my God, like this game is over. Like the game is over. And then that happened.
The absolute piss missile from Ethan Fry.
Who hit it? Yes, Ethan. And he was due. And Ethan's hit like what, 600 this whole postseason?
Oh, I don't know what it was in postseason,
but Stanley, they told Stanley to bunt here with bases loaded, no outs. I said, no, you let their motherfucker swing the bat. You said to bunt.
He's done it.
I understand.
He's done it to take the lead. It's not like Stanley's been on fire. And you got speed at third base, and you got speed at the plate. Yeah, absolutely do it. You had Jake Brown at third, I'm pretty sure. Fastest runner on the team.
But yeah, it's watching a game with those fans was, yeah, it was one of those things.
It was a typical when it goes wrong, LSU sucks. Everybody's the worst.
Right. Yeah. Well, guess we're playing tomorrow. No, and me and you knew it. To win this series, we could not play 3 games.
And here's the thing about it. Sure, you go down 1-0.
I was thinking Kaysen was coming to the guy out of the put. I really was thinking Kaysen.
No, I knew Shores was going to be first. I thought they would go to Kaysen
in the ninth.
I did.
That would be insane. No, I think that was me.
You just got a text or something?
No,
or your computer died?
Andrew's pissed. My computer's plugged in.
Okay.
Andrew's pissed off.
But here's the thing, dude, is like, sure, you go down 1-0 early. I saw the homer and I texted you, was like, fuck. Right? Kids, get your parents permission to listen to it. I was like, fuck, man. But at the same time, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, okay, you got to score to fucking win anyway. Like, you can't win without scoring. So, you go down 1-0, and look, this is exactly what their coach said after game 1. It's like, or in the interview, actually, during game 1, whenever they went down 1-0, he's like, well, I mean, you got to score more than 1 to win the game. Like,
Curiel, 5 for 7 with runners in scoring position.
8 RBIs on a homer in the tournament.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
You talk about a freshman that's not scared of the moment. There it is right there, man. Talk about a freshman not scared of the moment. But look, I want to talk
about... And we got him for 2 more years.
Yeah. I want to talk about the first inning here. Okay.
Jay Johnson, the fastest coach for to 2.
Turn this off. I got this right here. I'm freaking looking at it.
Well, did you say it?
No, because we got to talk about game 2.
TV said it.
We got to talk about it first. But look, let's talk game 2 here. First inning. We got balls and strikes being argued by the coach. Second inning, I'm sorry.
Do you mind if somebody joins us?
Who are you getting on here?
Just do you mind?
I don't mind.
Okay.
Okay, let's see who's going to join us.
Well, it won't be for long, but
we got somebody joining us tomorrow.
We do have somebody joining us tomorrow, but this is a fan of ours.
Okay.
You know him. You've met him.
Okay.
You actually, I want to say, walked with his wife. No, you didn't walk with his wife in our wedding.
Okay, cool. I know you're talking about.
You do?
Yep.
He's a betting guy.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. Yeah. I asked him if he wanted to join us. He said right now. Yeah. I said, it's up to you.
But here's the thing about this game, okay? First inning, Jacob Morrison, I think is his name, walks off the mound, and he's pointing at Josh Jordan and talking and saying something, being very vocal about whatever Josh Jordan did to him, which I said it last episode. Thank God Josh Jordan's not leaving. I love Josh Jordan. That dude is a tone setter for sure. Second inning comes. And he comes off the mound again, pointing, talking, went to home plate umpire, whatever. Well, here's the thing. Coach gets ejected in an inning too.
Yeah, okay. So coach gets ejected in the fucking first inning.
And not just one coach.
The first base coach as well.
You're right. This was the first inning because I did this. I said
it was the bottom of the first.
I thought he had come out and said something.
It was the bottom of the first, dude.
Bottom of the first. And look, he had somewhat of an argument. He told the umpire he had missed 3 pitches.
Well, he missed 3 calls.
In my opinion, he had missed 1, and it was the one that the guy stole second on. That ball was a curveball that was high and in. It was not a strike. And then that's when all hell broke loose. Okay. The first base coach said something, and the umpire went to the first base coach first, took a step or two that way, turned around, went to Kevin Schnall, and basically told him 3 or 4 times, stay in dugout, this is your warning, stay in dugout. And you can see him pointing. You can see him pointing. Well, then they turn the camera to Kevin Schnall, and he's coming out. You missed 3 fucking calls. 3 fucking calls. 3 calls. And then all of a sudden, his face goes numb. Because when they threw him was when the camera was on Schnall. It wasn't a full view camera. It wasn't on the umpire. His face went numb, and the crowd goes crazy. I looked at Victoria. I said, oh, my God, they just threw him out.
Dude.
And sure enough, the announcer was like, are you kidding me? They just threw Kevin Schnall out in the first inning. Dude, I got chills again, like thinking about it, because it was insane. Like
it was absolutely insane.
And everybody out there saying, oh, this is so unwarranted. This is such a quick hook. This is so no, it's not. They play this game by the book. We keep hitting on umpires all year long because they won't let the kids play. The rule book says once you get a warning, you cannot come out the dugout.
And he took like 3 more steps.
And he didn't get 1. He got 4 or 5. You could see the umpire pointing at him and putting his hand up and pointing. Gave him ample opportunity.
Yeah.
And 100%. He still came out. You missed 3 fucking calls. And launched him, and his face goes numb, and that's when he just charged in like a fucking bull.
Dude, I tell you what, I was very shocked that that one LSU player did not get a chance to hit in this game.
Josh Pearson.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
I was very shocked. I mean, I think if it would have stayed 5-1, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen. I wish his video would fucking load up.
I'm driving.
Oh, well, shit, dude.
Is the audio going to be messed up?
No. Audio is fine.
We just wanted to see your face.
We just wanted to see your face, beautiful.
I mean, I don't blame you.
What's up, buddy?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the betting master. This is the guy that sends me all the parlays that we always miss on because of 1 or 2 guys. Mr. Nick Black. He is a fantastic man. Nick, we're talking game 2 here. And game 2, which was today, this was an incredible game. We just talked about the coaches getting thrown out in the first inning.
Well, the head coach. The first base coach yet.
The head coach and then the first base coach.
Well, I don't want to ask y'all again to repeat all that, but I was still kind of confused about the whole thing. But apparently he wasn't listening to like the 6 warnings that he was given, right?
Correct. 100%. Yeah.
So, I mean, at what point, I mean, I get it was early in the game, but what else are the umps supposed to do if he's given that many warnings?
No, I mean, they did what they were supposed to do. They ended up going they ended up.
You want me to repeat what the rule book says?
Yeah, go ahead.
So essentially what the rule book says, Nick, is once the umpire gives you a warning, you're not allowed to come out of the dugout and continue to argue. Well, as you just said, he ignored the 5 or 6 warnings that he got.
Right. Yeah, he was the ump was already yelling at him, and then he's like coming out of the dugout towards him, and then it was confusing when it happened. Like, I didn't understand what was going on, but like after all the replays, I was like, that dude was totally like losing his mind. So, I mean, I don't blame the ump at all.
Yeah. So
they did exactly what they gave him a very long leash.
And then, in my opinion, the umpire flopped.
Oh, he didn't get pushed.
He
did not get pushed.
He did not get
No,
pushed,
no,
but
no,
he
no.
looked like LeBron James out there.
He got tangled
I'm
up with
glad
the
you
other
brought that
umpire that
up.
came in.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought
Yeah,
that up
he
because I watched that in slow motion and he didn't even get touched and he just like rolled back and I was like,
No.
wait, what? What is that?
100%.
His feet got tangled with the other umpire. that
Yeah,
came in.
he tripped.
Yes.
He tripped.
Yes. Anybody out there that thinks Kevin Schnall pushed him, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I didn't.
You know
think
what's
that for a
crazy?
second.
You know what's crazy is somebody brought this to my attention. They said, isn't this the same guy that brought up Kevin O'Sullivan being not as classy during the regional?
Yeah.
You know, and they said, isn't this the same guy that in his press conference called Kevin O'Sullivan basically a bitch and
The
said,
coach said that for Coastal.
dude, so Kevin O'Sullivan ended up just berating this guy,
the Coastal's ground crew.
the ground
chief.
crew, because they weren't starting the game on time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it got to a point where, you know, he said it was very unprofessional and this and that. And then this is also the same guy that just got tossed out of a out of a national championship game because he lost his cool.
And here's the thing. He has a 2-game suspension next year.
3-game.
And the
So he is suspended for the next game, and then got an additional 2 games because of him excessive arguing.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Are you saying he has to carry the embarrassment to next season?
Yes.
For 3 games.
As the
That's
assistant
that's
coach.
kind of amazing, honestly.
And yes,
I love
and the first base coach.
Yep.
Yeah, the first base coach, man, he was. I don't know if I can curse on here.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
He was,
Have you not heard me
100%.
say it already?
probably. He was acting like a complete dickhead, so like it didn't surprise me that they
Yeah.
threw him to it. Which he was the original issue, right?
Yes.
If that's the only curse word you say, that's like PG at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
He was the original issue. It was the umpire called time, stepped toward the first base coach before he turned his attention to Kevin Schnall, and then threw Schnall out while the first base coach continued arguing before throwing him out.
Yeah, I had a feeling he was
it
gone.
was-
The way he was still talking after the head coach got thrown out, I was like, buddy, like, you're going to get thrown out too if you just keep going at him like that. I think he just wanted, I don't know, it's almost like they were trying to fire up their team, but that's kind of stupid to lose your top 2, like, coaches. You know what I mean? Like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah. I think essentially it was a ploy to try to fire their team up, but
You don't do it in the first inning. You wait till the 4th inning.
Yeah,
you
first
wait till
inning.
the 4th, 5th, like in
first
the
inning
bottom
was
of the
crazy.
first, dude. That is wild.
When you got your guy on the mound at that. Like, you got your ace on the mound. He's 12-0.
Yeah.
With a 2.08 ERA. Like, you got your ace on the mound.
Yeah,
I wanted to ask y'all about something.
I-
Who was
I-
bitching about Josh Jordan?
yeah. I didn't get it.
What was the
understand.
pitcher yelling about for Coastal after the first inning? When he was coming
So
out, like,
apparently
after
Josh
they got 3
Jordan.
outs. Yeah.
So apparently the what I understood was Josh Jordan, the third base coach for LSU, was getting in the pitcher's dome piece, and he didn't like it.
Well, I think it was a combination of 2 things. He might have had his grip. He might have been able to see the grip and was relaying that message. You know how we are when you coach third base. Hey, number means fastball. Name means off speed. Like,
Yeah.
it is what it is, you know?
Yeah. Hey, here we go, 12.
So it could have been that. Or the announcers were saying it's really making Morrison mad that he's not in the coach's box. And so he kept,
When have we ever seen that?
Yeah, never.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it was one of those 2 things is all I can think of.
I don't understand. I really don't. But Josh Jordan was getting in his dome piece.
Josh Jordan was swimming freely. Rent free in his head.
Was doing freestyle swim in the Olympics in his dome, dude. And it was
So what do you
it
mean?
was
What do you
insane.
mean? What exactly was he doing? The
I-
LSU
it's from we don't necessarily know, but what we do know is that the pitcher was getting pissed off. So it could have been he's picking up signs, he's picking up grip,
Yeah.
because it was a righty on the mound.
Yeah.
You know, so you would think, you know, your glove covers
The ball. Yeah,
right?
And your grip.
From the third base perspective.
Yeah.
But
he's beyond third base though.
But if your glove is kind of, you know, the back of your glove is on home plate, you know, you might be able to see, especially coming from the stretch, like you might be able to see him like switch grips here.
Yeah.
You know, and Josh Jordan's picking that up. Josh Jordan's not a bad guy.
I'm just glad he didn't go to Duke. I said it last
100%.
episode. I'm so glad he stayed.
Is the Duke coaching search still?
Yes, we talked about that.
Out
Wake
there?
Forest pitching coach is hired over there. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
You remember that now?
yeah, I do.
Okay, good.
I do. Yes, I drink a lot. Nick, you know that.
Yeah, just a little bit. I wonder if the LSU coaching staff will like stay intact. Because who's the pitching coach is
From-
Yepke, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nate
Yetsky.
Yesky.
Yeah.
There was a big rumor that Gavin Gidger wasn't pitching this year
Oh, stop it.
because he may or may not have
Stop it.
done something
With a coach's daughter.
with the coach's daughter. And then it came out and said that Gavin Gidger is having season-ending back surgery. So we were like, okay, that rumor's put to bed. But the only coach that there's only two coaches that have a college-age daughter, and that is Josh Jordan, the third base coach, and Nate Yesky, the pitching coach, and Gavin Gidger is a pitcher. So therefore, we thought
No, Tiger dropping thought.
Tiger dropping thought. You know, and we don't have guys looking shit up for us. You know, Nick, are you driving from your parents back to your house?
I was I was playing hockey in Lafayette.
Oh, that's right.
They
Yeah,
had,
Nick plays hockey.
Yeah, I was in the middle of a game when like it was in the 8th inning, so I wasn't actually like listening. I was just, but they have a like a big TV above the rink, so I was like kind of watching in between plays and stuff. Yeah, but I definitely watched the first inning like madness.
My boy's playing adult league hockey.
Hey, bro, you gotta do what you gotta do.
We need to have Nick on just to like give like betting odds for everything.
Yeah. I'll show you how
I
to
think
get
we
those
do.
It'd have to be the next
still
day's
that
betting
way.
odds.
Well, yeah, it would have to have the next, or we can figure out how to go live.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just put an iPad right here and string both of us.
Yeah, well, we can probably do that, but there's a way to do it on here and all.
And a lot of the stuff I send Robert, like it's not like we're not putting a lot of money on there. It's just like fun. Like it's fun doing the the analysis on like all the stats. Like it's just fun, like baseball bets.
So Nick sends like, you know, 10 leg parlays, and I'm like, okay, like I'll follow, you know, because if it hits,
Let me.
but like Nick also puts like $1 on it.
Let me tell Nick how I bet. Nick, I changed my betting style. This is Jace here, obviously. I changed my betting style because the Rockies were 13 and like a million.
13 and 52, I believe.
Yeah, they are on track to have the worst record in baseball history. That was set last year after the White Sox. And had you had bet $100 per game on the other team to win, money line, straight money line, you would be up $25,000 right now. So I decided I was going to start betting it last week. Since I started betting,
winning, I'm assuming.
since I started betting it, they're 5-1.
Yeah. That's why I don't put a lot of money on the bets. I put some work in on trying to figure stuff out, but that's kind of what happens, you know.
That is crazy that they've won 5 games since you started betting.
And it has nothing to do with your decision, right? But it almost feels like the universe is like, nah, man, like, we're not gonna let you do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Nick sends me like 10 leg parlays, and we're like, dude, this has got to be a lock, right? And only one of the legs hits. and we're like, well, fuck.
Yeah, I'm
Hey.
sending Robert like, dude, we're going party after this hits, and it's like 1 out of 9.
Like we're going to Cancun. Like when this hits, we're going to Cancun.
Yeah,
To go hang out with the other people that fucking lost out the tournament.
absolutely.
And Nick's like, yeah, we're like, we got it. And then dude, like one leg hits, and we're like, well, shit, okay. The next one will hit.
Honestly, though, man, like it is a long game though, because like I've hit like half of them before, like 4 out of 8 or something like that, or like 5 out of 10, and like for home runs, like that's not bad. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to hit home run.
No, I mean it's
So I think
It's
it's
just not a winner.
I think you just need to like, but you can do round robins too, and I could talk about that, but I kind of
Nick,
used
I
the
think you're
round
cutting out,
robin.
bud.
Am I?
Nick, I think you're cutting out, bud.
Uh-oh.
All right, we're losing Nick a little bit here.
Nick, I think you're cutting out, bud.
Might be in a bad spot.
You're cutting out. I think you're. Yeah.
I don't know if you can. Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you're cutting out there a little bit.
Yeah, I'm in a bad spot. It might cut
a
out
lot
again.
of it.
Sorry
honestly.
about that.
Oh, we lost Nick.
All right, we lost Nick.
Well, look, game 2. Let's finally get back to
it. If y'all can hear me, I was just saying, like the round robins. When you make these ridiculous bets, like the round robins are nice to do because, like,
we
even
wanted
if you just hit,
to
if you hit half of them, like you're still making some good money.
We said
I kind of use that to
him
fund
to get
the madness there.
He said he needed to get to the first inning. They interviewed him. And it was like, "What's your goal?" He said, "No runs in the first inning." It's no secret. Ant struggles in the first. It's not,
absolutely,
that's not a secret.
And I don't know why. And Jay goes talks to him, and then he goes 5 shutout innings,
which is exactly
with 10 Ks.
Almost exactly what happened. You good?
No.
I mean, bro, look. Ant
if I'm being honest, bud,
Ant did exactly what we needed Ant to do. 6 1/3, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk. So you kept him off the bases. Which, by the way, speaking of the 1 walk, Cade Anderson, 4 walks and 2 hit by pitches. What the fuck was that? And still went 130 complete game shutty. Like that also just goes to show how dominant he was. He don't walk 4 people in a game, much less put 6 free bases on. But dude, Anthony Ianson, look, you did exactly what you needed to do. I wanted you to get through 7. I thought we could have left you in. You gave up he gives up the 2-run homer and then gets a strikeout. And then they go pull him for Shores at 99 pitches, which I didn't mind the move, but I wish they would have left him in until you at least get one more guy on base or something like that. Like let him finish out the inning, try to save the bullpen for the just in case moment.
Yeah.
Right. But dude, Anthony Ianson, man, what an absolute just stopper. Well, I mean, what you know what I'm saying? Like, as much as Cade is an absolute dude, and he is him, and he should go 1-1 Nationals. You're not listening, but if you were 1-1, and I think everybody would agree with that because you need MLB ready talent with your young core that's there right now. And you don't need a guy that's going to sit in the minors for 5-6 years. You need a guy that's going to get to the bigs within 2. And I think Cade is that guy for you for sure. Assuming he stays healthy, obviously.
Let me tell you
for
this.
Sure.
Let me tell you this because Bradley, as you know, which shout out B Rad, right?
You better, bud.
Bradley, who has been on this podcast before, whenever we're audio only, Bradley has had an accident with a lawnmower and has 8 toes left out of all the 10, and he's being a trooper about it. Now also, game 1, World War III might have started. Okay, and Nick is back.
Nah.
Oh, never mind. He left.
Nah, World War III's not here, bro.
But World War III might have started, and he said he cut his toes off so he didn't have to go. You know what I mean? So he said just now, and I quote, "Y'all got the first laugh. I'll have the last laugh when the draft comes around." That's what he said. Hey, Nick, you back? Nick?
I don't hear him on my end.
Oh, well, Nick's trying. He's trying the best. But yeah, dude.
Just text him and tell him we'll go have him in here.
I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm back. I'm back.
I'm gonna text him right now.
Yeah, just text him and let him know we'll have him in here one day. So that way we're not going back and forth trying to figure it out. But man, cool to have Nick on though.
Yeah, absolutely.
insight
We've
there.
been wondering about it, and look, like I said, like Nick bets a lot.
We have been wanting him on.
Yeah, we have been, and Nick, we want him on, but when we want him on when we go live, because Nick will say all the bets. He's very analytical. He loves, and he even sent me a RotoWire website to where, and I've sent it to you too.
Yep.
And we've looked at it and like who's hot, who's not, this and that. But yeah, I'll let him know.
All right, bud. You let him know.
Sorry.
So Anthony Heinsohn does what he needed to do. And, Coach, let's just kind of talk about this game here for just a second because Coastal goes up. And Heinsohn leaves a slider over the plate in the second inning. Guy takes it deep, did exactly what he's supposed to do. Mijos, or however the hell you say his last name, goes tank yard. But then LSU does exactly what you need to do after your guy gives up a homer. All right, you come back in the top of the third inning. Dickinson starts it off. Braswell sack bunts, which shout out to LSU fans. First off, every time Brazzy came up to the plate these last two games, you were giving him a standing O. And, as much as I hate to say he has not performed offensively. Let's just say it. I mean, he hasn't. But defensively, the glove's been irreplaceable at third base, especially in game one. Okay? We gave Cade all of his flowers. We gave Fluky his flowers. Michael Braswell deserves his flowers in game one because the place he made, the bunt that he got it just over the shoulder of the runner to get the out at first base, the game-ending ball to third base in the gap that he made the play on, didn't even square his feet up, just kind of threw it off to the side. Great. And Brazzy did exactly what he needed to do for LSU. He was in the lineup for his glove. His glove showed out, and right here in the top of the third, he does exactly what he needs to do. Danny Dick starts it off with a single. Braswell comes up. He goes sack bunt. Danny gets the second. DC goes fly out, unfortunately, and then Ethan Fry mashes one at 114 miles per hour right at the left fielder. This ball was crushed.
So he hit one 114. They also hit one like 109 or 110 or some shit like that got actually gobbled up.
Yeah.
And dude, he hits the ball so fucking hard.
Yep.
It's almost like Cags, right? Like Cags hit one in minor league ball, 121.
Cags is like in his first 5 at bats in the bigs. He's the first player ever in his first 5 at bats to hit a ball 105 or harder in all 5 of his first at bats. Now he was 0 for 5 in that game. That's the wild part,
right?
But he hit every single ball 105 plus, and that's just baseball. The home run, the third inning homer was 91.4 miles per hour out the bat,
and it went so left field is 335, and it went 340.
Maybe
seriously, it went 340. That was what they put up there, and dude, it was insane.
I mean, so it was crazy. So Ethan Fry just absolutely mashes a ball, and I don't care who you are in the outfield, when a ball's hit like that at you, you can't get a read on this ball. The announcers are trying to say, oh, it was right at him. Oh, he didn't have his glasses on, trying to play the sun, which good for you. You didn't make the play when you didn't have your glasses on, when the sun was dead in your eyes. I don't feel bad for you, plain and simple. You got glasses sitting on top of your head. Put them on or take them off for good. I don't feel bad for you.
Gabe Burke, which I wish Gabe would have joined us at some point. But Gabe Burke, diehard LSU fan, he played second base at Dutchtown, and when I tell you, motherfucker always wore his glasses on his hat, whether the sun was out or not. And Shake hated that shit.
I can't stand it. Put the glasses on the bench.
Put them on,
or put them on your back,
or put them on and put them in the back.
That's it.
Those are the only 2 places glasses go.
When
there were some times where I put them on, and then all of a sudden, like during the inning, say it was a long inning or something, like the sun wasn't there anymore, I'd take them and put them on top of my head.
That's a different.
But then I go in the dugout, After the inning,
When you play a game that starts at 1:30, you play with them on at all times.
100%.
Unless this game goes 25 innings and you're playing at 8 o'clock at night. I don't feel bad for the guy for misjudging the ball. It is what it is. But so LSU ties it up right there, and then you go to the bottom of the third. We go 4 up and 3 down for them. And then we get to the top of the fourth, and this is where LSU does their damage. It starts with a Jake Brown walk. It's a great AB from Jake Brown. Jacob Morrison still on the mound at this point. Jared Jones with a single. And Jake Brown had a great read off the bat. He gets to third base, so you're first and third with nobody out. Luis Hernandez gets hit by pitch, and you and me are texting each other like, let's go right now. Here it is. Here's where we got to go right here. It's time to get it done. And here comes Stanfield, and this is the one we was talking about where I text you, I wouldn't be surprised to see a bunt. You got everybody at your party saying bunt, and you're like, there's no way he's fucking bunting right here. And sure enough, he doesn't bunt. He drives the ball left field. Boom, base hit. Tigers score 2. It's 3-1 LSU.
Stanfield has been a giant. And look, I remember doing
Josh Pearson when Josh Pearson ain't in the lineup.
I remember doing our preseason.
He was nowhere in our lineup.
Well, he was nowhere in your lineup, and he was in mine because as a junior, you don't transfer and expect not to play.
Yeah.
And he started in center field for over 80% of the games.
Yep. There was one.
Some would say 90.
There was one. It was probably 90%. There was one stretch where he didn't start, but I think it was only a game or two.
I think it was midweek.
Yeah,
like
I don't
midweek
think
game.
It was a long stretch of games. It was only just 2 or 3 games that he didn't start.
And then led when they got the SEC play. He led the SEC in batting average.
Yeah, he did. Absolutely true.
Dude was incredible.
So he comes up with the big hit to score 2, and then Danny comes up. He sack bunts. Braswell pops out to third, unfortunately, and then DC does what the freshman phenom has done all year long. This is
insane.
I don't give a shit about Texas's freshman lefty. I don't care. I can't even think of his name that won freshman of the year. Shame on you, voters, and everybody that voted against this guy that has played 65 out of 65 games. This is the freshman of the year in the entire country, not just the SEC. This is the best freshman player in the whole country.
Let's talk about
Dylan
awards.
Volantis, that's who it is.
Let's talk about awards real quick.
This is a guy in Derek Curiel that got absolutely robbed. 44 straight games, whatever it was that he had an on-base streak of, and you're going to penalize that at the end of the season and not give this kid the freshman of the year award? Well, guess where Dylan Volantis was when Derek Curiel was getting this fucking base hit? Probably sitting his ass in Cancun, wishing he could be sitting in the dugout in the 4th inning of or 5th inning of
probably has a model in his lap.
Doesn't matter. I'd rather be in Derek Curiel's spot here in the College World Series. But shame on you, everyone that voted against Derek Curiel not being freshman of the year. Shame on you because you got proven fucking wrong because this kid comes up with 2 outs, goes base hit to score 2, give LSU a 5-1 lead. That's all LSU scores the rest of the game. Later on in the game, in the bottom of the 7th, Coastal hits the 2-run homer. Ianson gets the fly out, and that's when they bring in Chase Shores after that, who goes ground out, strikeout, and my goodness, let's give the flowers, speaking of, to Chase Shores, because holy shit, I talked about Chase Shores Thursday before we covered this. I'm going to talk about him again right now. Chase Shores, as I said all offseason, he should be your closer. Before it came out that he was going to be the Sunday guy in the rotation, I was a Chase Shores is my closer all day long.
Yeah.
Give me 101, give me 102 out the pen all day long. And Chase Shores, it started in Alabama.
Yep.
At the SEC tournament. And then they used him in the regional. They used him in the Super. And they used him in the College World Series. And he was that guy.
He was a key factor.
Every single
Some people would
time
say
that ball was in his hand, and he was flame throwing 99 to 102 every single time. Chase Shores, the absolute guy out of the pen. It wouldn't shock me if he doesn't come back. It also wouldn't shock me if he does come back, because I do think
I don't know how much
Teams,
you know I appreciate you.
teams. Here's the thing about college sports that people need to realize: whether it's baseball, basketball, football, we'll keep it at the big three.
Lacrosse.
There are professional sports that obviously you try to go to, and there are front offices and scouting directors and shit of that sorts. There could easily be somebody like a Miami Marlins calling Jay Johnson and be like, hey, look, we really love Chase Shores at the pen. We want to see him do that for an entire year.
Yeah, but Miami's just going to trade him.
And here's why I know that to be a fact. Because I know Howard Perkins, after his second year, whenever he was an all freshman everything, and then his second year, they changed his linebacker position. Don't ask me which one because I am not that familiar with the terminology.
I'm not either.
But they changed it.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that the Seattle Seahawks called Brian Kelly and said, change his position to this because we want to see him play this because we have the option of drafting him next year.
I cannot wait to see Harold Perkins.
And the 2 weeks brothers at linebacker. Yes, it's going to be a lot of fun. But trust me, if you think for 1 second that these factors are coming from LSU or Jay Johnson or Brian Kelly at all times, you're wrong. Okay. Teams are calling saying, hey, we think this guy's a starter. Hey, we think this guy's a bullpen. Hey, we think this guy would be better linebacker here. Let's play him here. Hey, instead of playing outside linebacker, let's put him on the defensive end and play him here. Like,
speaking of which,
this is happening. You can bet your ass this is happening. And I think Chase Shores will come back. I'm crossing my fingers Chase Shores will come back because you talk about the key bullpen piece to go along with Jacob Myers, who's coming back, to go along with Gavin Guidry, who's going to come back, to go along with Maverick Rizzi, who's going to be there next year, to go along with Schmitty, who's probably going to be in the rotation, but let's just say he's going to be in the bullpen next year. Yeah, give me that bullpen all day long.
If Schmidt is in the bullpen next year, he transfers after next year.
If Schmitty is in the bullpen next year, LSU has the best starting rotation that college baseball has ever seen. I'm talking about LSU is going to have some kind of combination of a Paul Skeens, Garrett Cole, Steven Strasburg type of starting rotation because there's no way you leave William Schmidt out of it unless you have 3 absolute guys that are proven. What you doing, bud?
Trying to grab my other flip-flop.
All right. So, all in all, Chase Shores comes in and does this thing. And, Coach, I just want to talk about the bottom of the ninth, okay? Because we go single, strikeout.
It's 5-3 at this point, right? So, single strikeout, and we're sitting there and we're going, okay.
9 holes up.
Tying run is at the plate.
9 holes up, who's already got a homer in the game.
And we've already heard from Jay, and he said, and I quote, they asked him, they said, how does it feel to be another national champion? Like, to be another, like, national champion, like, to add another one to your belt.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, honestly, it still hasn't hit me because we had the tying run at the plate. Like, I was just trying to control the game.
Yeah.
And they did. They did. And we thought maybe Kaysen's coming in.
Yeah.
Like Kaysen's going to be here. Like we're going to see another guy in the ninth. Chase Shores comes out and just does Chase Shores shit.
Dude, I'm telling you, he gives up the single on the third pitch. It was a 1-1 count. Gives up the single, and then he faces Ty Dooley, shortstop. Strike 1, strike 2, ball 1, strike 3, swinging. At 101, by the way.
Yeah. And hold on. I want to bring up our text. Because
you were giving me the play-by-play. I don't know why.
I haven't drinking.
You were giving me pitch-by-pitch.
I said
play-by-play,
pitch. I said 101, 99, 100 base hit. And on the pitch that was 100, that was the base hit.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I said, Kaysen, please. And then I said, put Gavin Guidry in.
Stupid.
Okay. So you said, come on. And I said 99 up,
Yep.
which
Strike one.
strike one.
That ball was up too. He looked at that. That ball was up. That should have been ball one.
100%.
I'm not gonna lie.
100%. I think he swung.
No, he looked.
Okay. So then I said 99 middle.
But you swung and missed.
And then 101 away.
Yep.
And then that was 2. And then 100 to finish him off.
Yeah, looking.
Okay.
I'm sorry, swinging.
Yeah. So I said 25 out of 27.
Yeah.
Right. Which yesterday I was texting you and I was saying, hey, 1 out of 27. And you were like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, because we're talking about some other things.
We're talking about Bradley.
I thought
okay.
some other people were involved or some fingers were involved. I don't know what's happening.
So then I said 100 middle.
Yeah, strike one.
That was strike one. The next pitch was the ground ball.
The next pitch, the next text you got was what?
National champions.
Yeah.
And it was the ground ball
to Danny. And in the wise words of Chris Blair on 98.1 LSU radio, he says, ground ball towards Dickinson. Flips it to Milam. The relay to first. It's in time. Tigers win. Tigers win.
Yes. Tigers win.
The chase for 8 is complete, Coach.
It's done.
The chase for 8 is over.
And now we go for the chase for 9.
And the Tigers are your reigning, defending.
Shout out to Paul Heyman. Shout out Paul Heyman.
World heavyweight national baseball champions.
Hold on. I got it. Reigning, defending, undisputed national champions, LSU Tigers.
And look, I just want to give a shout to Jay, okay? And this has been a year where we came in here from day one and said we are not going to question Jay. And there have been some things that have been questionable. Some calls, some lineup changes, some pitching things. We weren't going to question it, and we didn't. And I had to put this to rest to a lot of people.
A lot.
that just trust him. Like, I promise you, he knows more baseball than all of us.
I got more texts. I got a text today. Coastal's pitcher taking major shit or talking major shit walking off the mound after that inning, and this is after the first. After the inning, he's not as good as I thought. LSU should hit him all over the park.
Yeah.
And then I didn't reply till after the first. I said, we can. That last inning was wild as fuck. He said, right. I haven't seen a head coach and first base coach thrown out in a College World Series ever.
Ever. I hadn't either.
Same.
But speaking of
coaches, I said
coaches,
first inning too.
Speaking of coaches, let's talk Jay Johnson here for just a second, then we'll wrap this thing up. We're right at an hour.
He's incredible.
I want to talk Jay Johnson because, my goodness, how good is Jay, man? I mean, look, this is a guy, when you think about it, this is year 4 here for Jay Johnson. What does that mean? Coach Rob, that means this is his team, his first full team of recruiting, transfer portal, JUCO players that are done with JUCO, signing, freshmen coming in. This is his first team. I'm going to let D in real quick because he's wearing me out.
That's fine.
Come on, Dodo Bird. But this is Jay's first recruiting team essentially in year 4. All right. This is according to ESPN and according to a lot of reports out there, but we're going to read from ESPN here, or I am at least. This is the first Division I coach to ever win 2 titles in his first 4 years at a school. No other coach has accomplished that feat in fewer than how many seasons?
6.
8.
Oof.
8. He's got 2 in 4 years. And let me just tell you, everyone that does tune in and everyone that does watch, LSU, there ain't no going down. You're gonna have to beat us in the transfer portal. You're gonna have to beat us in the recruiting of freshmen. You're gonna have to beat us in the recruiting of JUCO players that are done playing JUCO. You're gonna have to beat Jay Johnson in a lot of different things. And history is not on your side. History is not on your side in these 4 years. He's had the best transfer portal, the best freshman class, the best returning players, the best all the way around. LSU for the second or third year in a row has led the nation in strikeouts. LSU for the second time in 3 years are national champions. LSU 2 years ago had the nation's leader and record breaker in strikeout numbers. This year, you got the overall number 1 and number 3 strikeout pitchers on your team. This is a team that is going to recruit hitters, power hitters, starting pitchers, relief pitchers, and he's gonna do it better than everyone.
Well, you saw him bring Luis Hernandez in, and Luis has been insane this whole year.
Who is he brought in? Stanfield, who had the best average in the SEC.
Who hit 278 last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel Dickinson, who is locked down second base with Stephen Milam going to
Danny
shortstop.
Dix.
And they have been the best 1-2 punch up the middle
Danny
in
Dix,
the whole
dude,
country.
He's been insane.
You bring in Luis Hernandez, as you just said. Last year, LSU had a rotating backstop of 3 people. Rotating all the time. Luis sealed it up. One guy. Oh, coach, I'm leaving somebody out. Who could that be? Could that be I think it's a starting pitcher.
Oh, and
I think he got the win today to seal the College World Series for LSU. Oh, yeah. That's who Jay brought in.
Anthony fucking Ianson. Dude.
Anthony Ianson. Oh, wait. I'm leaving somebody else off who was on the Stopper of the Year award from Wofford, who was their ace at 10-2 last year. Zach Cowan, by the way.
Cohen.
Who went 5 1/3 against Arkansas to get us to this point in the win there. You're talking about a guy in Jay Johnson that does it better than anyone. And look, T-Bob went one of his first weeks in Barstool, sat on was he with Big Cat? Was like, who's the best?
Who's the best? I saw
the
this.
best coach in the country. And Big Cat's like, oh, it's fucking Tony Vitello. He built a team from nothing. Blah, blah, blah. In 2019, they didn't have nothing.
Good argument.
Great. And his argument to why Jay Johnson wasn't the best was because LSU hired him and gave him all the money to go get Paul Skeens and Tommy White. Guess what Tennessee could have done in 2023? Go and get Tommy White and go and get Paul Skeens. But who didn't?
Tennessee.
And we're sitting here as 2 Tennessee freaking I love Tony V.
I love Tony V.
And I love
Absolutely.
Tennessee.
I love the way his players play.
But who does it better? Jay Johnson. Front to back, side to side, east to west, all the diagonal ways. You look at it in any way you want to. Transfer portal, JUCO, freshman class, returning class, development of players, however you want to look at it. Jay Johnson does it better than anyone else in the last 4 years. LSU has been the peak of college baseball for a very long time. It ain't stopping.
No. It's not. What is crazy is, so I just pulled up Jay Johnson, right? So in 2005, he coached in the Pacific West Conference, Point Loma, which I think I went there with the Navy. The Sea Lions, right? He went 37-14 his first year as a head coach, 20-8 in conference, and then. From then on, he does not have any stats till 2014, where they came in 4th in the conference at 31-28. And then next year, they won the conference.
Yeah.
41-15. Okay. Then in 2016, his first year at Arizona, they're runner-up. And that was the year Coastal won.
2 Coastal.
Yeah. So
Kevin Schnall was the assistant coach at that time.
How does it feel, Jay?
And how does it feel LSU? How did Coastal get there? They beat LSU at LSU in Super Regional.
Yeah.
Revenge is so sweet. It's insane. It's so gratifying and it's so satisfying. Like we said to start this thing off, we have been here dissecting every single game. We have been here previewing every single weekend. We have been here breaking down how the weekend went, how the midweek's going to go, what we think, what we thought, this, that, and the other, man. The satisfactory that I have of LSU winning, and yes, we are no any way, shape, or form associated with LSU besides being just diehard fans of the Tigers. This has felt so good to be able to break this thing down the way we have all season long. And, knowing that now we have 7 months to break down transfer portal. We got a list going right here. Who's out, who's in, and we get to talk about the recruits now over the next few months coming in. Man, it's exciting. And I tell you, it's a great way to end the LSU baseball season. Obviously, you wouldn't want to end it any other way besides being national champions. And dude, it's been so much fun doing this with you for 6 months. Obviously, we're not going to stop, but just to do LSU and get legit feedback, like raw emotion as people that don't, as two guys who do it by themselves. We have no one else to do our audio, to do our statisticians, to do our you like that word, huh? That was a good one.
Statisticians.
It'd be statistics, but we don't have a statistician. How about that?
No, statisticians.
I don't think so. But dude, it's been such a blast to be able to come in here with good information, knowing that it's just you and me. Like the pride of just you and me being able to do this.
It's insane to be able to, so we missed 2023.
Yeah.
Right, because we started this in 2023.
Yeah, we started September of 23?
No,
August of 23?
October.
Just for the World Series?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we had the World Series in 2023.
Needs to be investigated, by the way. Talk about that at another point.
What?
Because Texas sucks. They virtually have the same roster. But them motherfuckers suck.
Anyway. So, again, Jay, 2016, first year at Arizona, College World Series runner-up. Next year, he makes a regional. The next 2 years, he doesn't do shit. 2020, season canceled, right? 2021, when it's really his team, comes in first in the Pac-12.
Yeah.
And goes 45-18 and 21-9 in conference, makes it to the College World Series and goes 0-2.
Yeah.
Right?
And then?
Two in Cancun. Right. And then goes in 2022 to LSU, makes a regional.
Yeah.
We lose.
Yeah.
Okay. 23, we get Skeens. We have Cruz.
Trey Morgan, Tommy White.
Trey Morgan. You can name it.
Below,
Joe Bear. You can name them all.
Travinsky.
Yes.
Malazzo.
Malazzo breaks his leg.
Yeah.
In the last game,
Lefty,
you can name it all.
His name.
Javen Coleman.
Big lefty.
Oh, Riley Cooper.
You're Riley Cooper.
The big body gods. Jared
Jones was here at this point.
Who's the other lefty? Ackenhausen.
Griffin Herron.
Nate Ackenhausen.
Oh, Ack, yeah.
Ack goes in there, and they win the College World Series in 2023. There's a full fucking documentary called Walk It Off on YouTube of that 2023 season, and it's amazing. 2024, we fall short in the regional to North Carolina.
1 out
away, and Jake Brown misses a ball.
In the 10th.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is what it is.
It is what it is. He's a freshman, never played a position before. It's okay.
And you know what? It's a great thing. Because game one, what was third out of game one? Fly ball to right field for Jake Brown.
Yeah. He's played right all year.
It's been really good, but
right. And they make a regional. He's never won an SEC title outright. Right. But we don't care.
No.
We don't care about that because he's won 2 national championships since he's been at LSU. And I guarantee
Like Skip got there in what, 91, 92?
91, 93, 96, 97, 2000.
Skip won 5.
Yeah.
And Jay is on track.
Yeah. In 4 years, he's got 2.
Yeah, Maneri won 1. Jay has now more. Jay now has more national championships,
Appearances. Or,
and national championships.
Yeah, than Palmer.
Yeah.
Well, Coach,
It's been a great
great year.
season.
Tigers are on top.
We have a phenomenal guest coming on tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of
And thank God the series is over.
fun. Dude, trying to have him here and watch it all would be brutal.
Thank God the series is over. We cannot wait. Our good buddy, or your good buddy at least. I cannot wait to meet this guy.
Yeah, it's gonna
You've met him already.
It's gonna be
I
good.
cannot wait to meet this guy, and hopefully we get more because of him.
Yeah.
This has been amazing.
I'm gonna go ahead and close this out here because it's my closeout, even though you were about to.
That is true. Yeah, go ahead, bud.
All right, I'm gonna close it out with this. I'm Coach Jace. That's Coach Rob. And in the famous words of Chris Blair, one more time on 98.1, the Tiger Radio Network. Ground ball towards Dickinson. Flips to Milam. The relay to first. Hits in time. Tigers win. Tigers win. Our LSU Tigers are, for the 8th time and the 2nd time in 3 years, national champions. Reigning, defending, undisputed champion of the world. Our LSU Tigers.
LSU Tigers.
We're your boys, and this is Diamond Deck Discussions. We are unfiltered.